What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Strangers on the Plane Classy Talk with Jerzey Julz and
Carolyn Neff.
And man, we are glad to be here with you guys, man. I know you guys wondering, like, man, what do these two have in common? What have they, been up to and stuff like that? And this is why we're here right now with you guys. So, let's get started. Welcome to the Classy Talk, man.
Yes, and so our name for our podcast came from actually how we met.
Yes.
It's Strangers on a Plane, and that we were just a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
We were strangers on a plane, and so think about this. When you meet somebody new, do you always have your guard up because you really don't understand maybe what the motivation will be for them? So for myself, sometimes it happens because I used to be on a television show, and one of the things that Jerzey and I were talking about is for him, because he is a musical artist, sometimes he worries about why people approach him. And so one of the things that we did not have to worry about was why somebody was approaching us.
Absolutely, man. The way we first met was definitely something interesting and definitely unexpected, man. Because, you know, everybody, if you travel and stuff like that, this podcast is definitely for you, man. Because if you guys haven't known, I travel all over the world. My background, military, firefighter, music executive, and stuff like that. And Carolyn, what's your background?
So my background is I've been an actor for a really long time. I was on a soap opera. I've done some movies. I've got this really cute romantic comedy on. It's on Amazon Plus, I think, still. It's called Hopelessly in June, where I play the title character. But I also have a small fragrance line, and I'm interested in international disaster relief.
Yes.
Anything that has to do with just really helping people. My 3 favorite words in the world are kindness, empathy, and compassion. And it is be kind, have empathy, and show compassion. And that's one of the reasons that we decided that this Strangers on a Plane was a really good thing.
Felt like you guys needed some refreshments from all the daily talk and stuff, and we felt like you guys needed some travel etiquettes, and of course, you know, we're going to get into our experiences and stuff like that, but we're just breaking the ice and let you guys get to know us and how we came about. Welcome to Strangers on the Plane Classy Talk.
Yes. Okay, so this is how we met. So he sits down, and so this is in the very back of the plane, by the way. We're like second to the last row. I'm in the window. He comes and he sits in the middle seat next to me. And I say to him, you know, I don't know why. Oh, well, I'm sorry. What'd you say to me first?
I said, so when I got on the plane, right, I was coming back from LA and I was in Dallas, you know what I mean? And then I was coming from Dallas straight to EWR. By the way, EWR, get your stuff together. It's not looking good for that. Y'all know we're going to get into it on Classy Talk, Strangers on the Plane. But, so I was about to sit down and I seen Carolyn and I said, excuse me, are you a celebrity or famous or something? And she looked at me and she did one of these. What makes you say that? And I was like, you know, y'all know me. I'm like, you know, you giving me celebrity vibes. I know celebrities when I see them and stuff. And she didn't confirm or deny. And she just told me who she was all politely and stuff. And then, for the next 4 or 5 hours, we just hit it off. Like, it was gone from there. Then the cat was on the plane or something like that. And I don't know how y'all got your pets loose on the plane. That was a crazy experience. But the whole plane was shook on that one, man.
Yeah, it's true. So we see this. The flight attendant comes back, and she's got this horrified look on her face, and she makes this announcement, and it says, "Yes, if you are traveling with an animal, your animal needs to stay in its travel bag with the travel bag closed. So if you happen to be traveling with a very large white cat that still has its claws." Why don't you check your bag and make sure that you get your cat back in the bag? So we see this guy, and he's walking up and down the aisle, and the poor guy looks absolutely just terrified. His heart is broken. His big old white cat is gone, and the flight attendant is just over it.
And then they found the cat in the pan with the flight attendant and stuff like that. I thought they was serving out cat or something like that for a second. The cat didn't want to come out and stuff. It was a crazy experience. So
it's true. So then they can't find the cat. The lady comes back, she's looking at the back in the galley.
Yeah.
And she's like, with this horrified look. I mean, her eyes popped out of her head like olive oil, Popeye on olive oil.
It would take a person that's afraid of cats to find the cat. So,
Yes.
no animals were harmed in this story. It's okay, guys.
No animals were harmed. And so then you see the guy that has the cat carrier here. He's walking to the back.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? So we think that they have smashed the cat in where they put those carts. Turns out the cat hid in the bottom of the cart while she was making the service, and nobody could find the cat, and had all.
And I thought, honestly, when y'all hear a cat on a plane, who do y'all think the owner of the cat is? It's probably an older woman. We ain't gonna put no race to it or nothing. Thought it was an older woman, a cat lady. Here it is, a young man, a young black man looking for his cat. Like, now I mean, he all, excuse me, everybody. He's crawling in between the seats. Cat ain't underneath the seats. It's with the flight attendant the whole time. So our first meet was very interesting and fun at the same time. And that's what strangers on a plane do, man. And which comes up to our travel code.
Yes, you have to stay flexible. Oh, wait. Stay flexible, stay open, and stay kind.
Yes. And the reason we'll break down the 3 travel codes, for instance. Do a lot of traveling all over the world multiple times and stuff like that. And people always want to know what's the important parts of travel and stuff like that. And it took me a while, and it took me some time to figure it out. And it took me to meet Carolyn to find out. And I'm like, yo, you know what? First, you got to stay flexible. What do you mean by stay flexible with traveling? Y'all already know the delays, the cancellation. Stay flexible with gate changes. Stay flexible with time, energy, and all that. You don't want to be too expecting and stuff like that. And that's how you let yourself down and stuff like that. High expectations and stuff with travel. Travel is definitely anonymous and can be hectic at times, so you want to stay flexible. And then the second one is,
you have to stay open. You have to stay open to changes and stay open to people as well. Because if you think about it, people travel, and sometimes it's very uncomfortable for people to travel. So their behavior and it might just be because maybe they have a little bit of anxiety because they're on a plane, or maybe because it's a mother and she's traveling and their seats got separated from maybe their 2-year-old. And then somebody will say, well, why didn't they book the seats together? Sometimes the airlines actually will change your seats and you don't even know it. So that's another reason you have to stay very open.
Absolutely.
Very, very open.
Absolutely. Got to stay open, man. Got to stay ready for whatever. Open-minded as well, not just physically and the mental too, because like I said, that goes hand in hand with staying flexible and stuff. And the last one this is Carolyn's favorite right here.
My favorite.
Yes.
You have got to stay kind. Stay kind with everything that you do, because one day you may need that kindness yourself. It's like,
I'm from Jersey and stuff. Stay kind is not our thing and all that, but she's right. When you traveling and stuff, you have to stay kind. You never know. Everybody's having a bad day when we traveling and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, again, like recent stories, especially if you're coming from EWR, all the, knock on wood, the plane incidents and stuff going on. So stay kind, you know what I mean? You never know. God forbid you in a situation you're going to need that person sitting next to you, or that same person you just saw on the terminal and stuff. So stay kind, you know what I mean? As best as you can.
As best as you can.
As best as you can. I gotta be realistic with it.
But how about this? Do your best to be kind.
Boom.
Do your best to be kind. Because if you think about it, you're being kind to yourself as well. If you are having a bad day, or if you're not having a bad day, but you walk by somebody, give them a smile, because that smile may change their entire day.
Yeah. Do your best to be kind, everyone. Matters, man. So we're going to straight get into a couple topics. We drew up a couple topics straight off our hand, and it's a couple topics, but they are very important to the world, honestly, you know what I mean? So the first one we're going to go into is different abled versus disabled.
Yes. I've always been so curious about this. So may I?
Of course.
Okay. So when Jerzey sat down next to me on the plane, he has hearing aids because he is an I asked him this because as an actor, now I see these breakdowns come through. And they used to say disabled actor, but now they say different abled. So one of my questions for Jerzey was, what do you think it is? I mean, do you find that you feel comfortable with people saying that you're different abled, or do you find it to be disabled?
One, as a 90% disabled veteran, and my hearing is going down drastically and stuff like that. I do wear hearing aids, so I am disabled, but I'd never heard the term different able before.
No.
I never heard of it. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but me being realistic, I think that's just like the kinder, gentler, softer America, and disabled is disabled to me. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. And it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, man. Everybody's different. Nobody's the same. Everybody got their own issues externally and internally, whether we want to admit it or agree to it or not and stuff. So I don't want to sugarcoat it. You know, I'm not ashamed of meeting people that's disabled, being disabled and stuff like that. So I never heard the term different able. What you think?
I had never heard it before, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, in this world today where, you know, what we say is so important, right? Mm-hmm. And how people feel about what we say. Yeah. Because those are the times where we need to pay attention to that. And so the reason that I asked you is because I don't really know how I feel about it, because it's not something that I live on a first-hand basis, so it's not for me to decide, which is why I asked you. Okay. Now I'm asking you, our public, our fans, what do you think about it? You know, do you have a different ability or a disablement that somebody has either talked to you about in a certain way that maybe you felt comfortable with? But how do you like to be approached?
Absolutely. Good breakdown.
I want to hear from people.
Call a spade a spade. Disabled is disabled. Now we're going to stick on the subject of disability. Okay. What are some disability options during travel? On a plane, train, or anything? Like me, I would like to, you know, it's pretty good, you know what I mean? For me, and my hearing and stuff like that, it's nothing too much that we can do about it and stuff like that. But I think that, you know, the lighting and the signage is pretty good and stuff like that. I don't have any complaints, really. When I get on the plane, I usually go to sleep.
Okay, I can say firsthand, yes, he does.
Yes, I do.
I've been next to him on a plane. And he gets the headphones, noise-canceling headphones, and then takes a hoodie over his head like this. And I'm telling you, he's like this. And I didn't see him. I felt so bad. I had to tap him to ask him to go to the bathroom because I was on the window, and I felt bad to wake him up. But he's not. He's pretty easy to wake
Caroline,
up. There was kindness there.
Did not care at all. She just wanted to wake me up. I got no sleep. First it was the cat. Then it was, you know, I was in the middle. I'm 6'2", I'm in the middle. And she's short, and she all got the window seat, all comfy, doing all this at the window seat. And, you know, then I'm going to sleep. Then Carol was like, hey, Jules, hey, Jerzey. And I'm like, hey. But it was all good. I wasn't complaining. I'm just making fun with her. I'm just busting her chops.
That's just because I know how to pick my seat better.
I'm glad she did wake me up, though, because, you know, we wouldn't be having, you know, strangers on the plane classy talk with us, you know what I mean? So, and definitely make sure you guys following us on Instagram. What's our Instagram again?
Oh, SOAP_classy talk.
Soap classy talk. Bang. Make sure you guys following that, man. And again, all episodes will be on the Real Talk Show Network app and on YouTube. Next subject, man. We got a lot to go on, and I'm excited to touch all these subjects. And my phone just locked in. I need a teleprompter or something up here because, you know, strangers on the plane, this is not helping my disability, you know what I mean? So I hope you airlines are taking notes and stuff what's going on here, especially United. I heard you guys got some things going on. How do you feel about that? You ever heard of what's going on at EWR?
Well, so it's been the topic. So I saw a news report the other day about a air traffic controller saying how unsafe it is to fly into Newark Airport, and how really basically stop flying into Newark because Newark is unsafe. Now, do I know any statistics with air traffic controllers. No, I don't. But what I do know is that it made me feel very uncomfortable, and that I've had at least half a dozen people in the last 3 days ask me how I thought about flying out of Newark. I personally have not flown out of Newark or into Newark since I heard this. I chose to fly to Westchester, which is a smaller airport.
Man, see, I need Newark to get it together before next weekend, because next weekend I'm gonna be out. I gotta fly out twice this month, so I gotta go to Cali and I gotta go back to Cali. And you know I love it. I gotta go back to Cali, then I gotta go to New Orleans, man. So EWR, please help me, help me here. Because I don't need that tragedy in my life, man. And I am a firefighter, an air guard firefighter. I work with airplanes and stuff like that. I'm an airport firefighter, and it's different watching the travel and the experiences and stuff that's going on right now and stuff like that, especially with the travel. The emergency rates are high, the in-flight emergencies are high, like, you know what I mean? So it got everybody all around the board. What's going on with the travels, especially the flights and stuff, has everybody on edge, from the air traffic controllers walking out on the job and stuff like that.
100%.
The baggage claim people, the people who got to load our bags. I did that before too. It's hot as heck under those planes during the summer. I'm just letting you guys know that now. Don't do it. But the flight benefits might be worth it. I'm just throw that out there. Hey, we gonna talk some classy. We gonna talk some planes. We gonna talk some travel. We gonna talk some travel all around the board. So we encourage you guys to stay safe for sure.
Oh, stay safe. And we also want to hear what you think about travel. What do you think could improve travel? How do you feel like if you showed up at the airport, what would you like to see? What's missing for you these days? Because that really has a lot to do with it. And if we talk about what's missing and we think about these air traffic controllers, their mental health is something that, we've got to make sure that they get enough rest, that that they've got enough support, because from what the reports are, there aren't enough air traffic controllers. They're not getting the rest that they need. And, mental health of somebody that has so many lives in hand is really important.
She got a point.
Really important.
Boom, she got a point right there, guys. And another thing that we was going in, because, I love perks, benefits, and discounts. Shout out to the airline employees and stuff, man. Like, as a former airline employee, I used to work for Continental before they merged with United.
Oh, okay.
Can y'all please take me off the blacklist, because I need a second job or something, and I would love to come back. Please,
Wait,
United.
Why are you on the blacklist? We need to know that.
See, that's neither here nor there, everybody. We ain't gonna talk about it. That's another story for another.
It wouldn't have been here or there, but you brought it up, so let's
we're gonna tell you that story. I just need off the blacklist so I can get back on the list. Yeah, if you get my drift, it sounds like you guys could use the help. No shots, no shade. I got some.
Hey, listeners, I am gonna find out why he's on the blacklist.
Do you know any flight attendants or any airline employees?
I do.
How do they spend their benefits?
This is actually a really great idea. I was listening to 2 flight attendants talk, because, like I said, I like to sit in the back of the plane for my own reasons. And they were this one flight attendant was saying how he rescued an animal. And so he was able to use his flight benefits to fly down to, I think he lived in Florida, and he had to fly to Kentucky 3 or 4 different times to visit this animal and to rescue it. And that made me think about the way that flight attendants use their benefits. I remember I had a friend, and she's a flight attendant, and so I had never been skiing before. And we decided that before my birthday, because I was going to go on a ski trip, she was going to use her flight benefits to give me a buddy pass to go to the Santa Fe ski area. So we woke up in the morning in Dallas. We flew to Santa Fe and were able to ski the afternoon ski session because she got me a buddy pass to fly.
Skiing is so hard if you guys never been skiing before. I tried snowboarding. I tried it 2-3 times. No, don't do it. It's not for us. We're going to leave that there.
No. So I've heard of people using it to help rescue animals, and then we used it for ski stuff. What have you heard of people using it for? Their benefits.
The middle ones?
Yeah, like the benefits. Like
Okay.
what reasons like have you heard people like use their airline benefits? You know, like one guy I heard went to propose to his girlfriend because he worked somewhere in the airport, and I think maybe he was even one of the guys that did the wheelchairs. And he was telling a story about how he used his airline benefits because they get the same
wow.
airline benefits to fly to go propose to his girlfriend. I thought that was sweet.
That's inspirational. I don't know if I would use my benefits like that, but I respect it.
How would you use your benefits?
How I did use my benefits?
Okay, how did you use your benefits?
You know, I did take my family back and forth, like my parents or my mom, my sisters and stuff like that. They'll come up to Jersey and stuff. And then, I fly them back down to something like that. Or if I wanted to go to another state, I'll go party for like a quick 24 hours, 12 hours, turn back around. And I was only paying $25 each round trip. So.
Okay, so I have
United, if you're hearing this, unblock me off the blacklist. I could use that again,
Wait. So United, if you hear me, why don't you reach out to me at soap_classytalk and let me know why he's on the blacklist?
Talk to my rep, man. She
I
gonna get
wanna
us right,
know.
man. Don't talk to me for me. Talk to her for me.
I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, man. So, have you been traveling lately?
I have.
Okay. Where's the last place that you have traveled recently?
Well, I had to travel here.
Okay.
I
Traveled here.
I had to travel here to do the podcast.
Now that she said that, travel, when we say travel, it isn't always just, plain talk. I do road trips.
Yeah,
train rides and stuff.
Love
and in this case, Carolyn did a Uber ride? Black Uber, no shady, no down list, you know what I mean? Queen treatment, respectfully. So how was your travel here today?
It was great. It was from New York to New Jersey, and it was about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Across
Sound about right.
These parkways and all of these ways, but I had to make it here to be in studio for my very first shows with Jersey here.
Nice. Glad to have you in station. Welcome to the family.
Oh, and you know what? I will say this. So this is about, staying open and staying flexible. That guy that drove me in the black Uber tonight, he was actually my driver when I flew into Westchester last week.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was so great and he was so open, and I had these huge bags with me. And sometimes people can make travel difficult for you, or they can help you and make it easier. And he was so nice. He, actually got out and helped me with the bags, and it was just super helpful, and then gave me his card. And so in turn, because of his kindness, I called him and I asked if I could book him for this round trip to the show and back for tonight.
That's what happens when you stay flexible, you stay open, and
you stay kind.
Strangers on the plane easily, man. You see how we putting it all together. It's all formulating. And this is for people who travel all the time, who has travel experiences, who's thinking about travel, has upcoming travels, who anybody who wants to know my experiences, her experiences for travel and stuff. I have a lot of experiences to travel. We're going to open up the book this time. Everybody always have questions. Jersey, you always here. You always there. Man, I wish I could come. Welcome to it, guys. Sit back, buckle up. Strangers on the Plane, classy talk, man. So, I recently spoke to you, and you said you were heading down to Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Were you landing in Atlanta or something like that recently?
Oh, I was.
See, look, she travels so much.
I do. I'm on a plane a lot, and sometimes I forget where I've been or where I'm going. But as long as I'm reminded, it'll pull.
Do you have a favorite airport to travel out
of? Well, I do. The reason that I traveled through Atlanta, so right now I'm doing the route where I come here to the New York area from Dallas for work. And so Hold
on, wait a minute. This is my first time hearing about this. You keeping things up your sleeve?
I'm not wearing sleeves.
Don't let the innocent look fool like now she don't got sleeves. Y'all see what I gotta do in here? Now she don't got sleeves. I knew she was gonna say that.
So I'm having to fly that route from Dallas, and I'm a fan of these smaller airports And so in Dallas, there's a smaller airport that's not DFW, but it's Dallas Love Field. And Dallas Love Field isn't that far from where I live in Dallas. And so that there is so great. And then I like to fly into White Plains, which is the Westchester Airport here. And so now I'll have to take a connection because with Delta, who is the only other airline other than Southwest Airlines that has a gate at Love Field, their hub is in Atlanta. So now I fly through Atlanta or maybe DC on that.
Okay.
But it's great. It's so great.
Can't be quiet, but if it's quiet, that means y'all not busy enough and ain't enough flights coming over here, and that means it's a long delay or something. We need y'all to pick it up or something like that. HCY, I'm talking about you, Atlantic City. But anywho, do you have a favorite airline that you prefer to travel with? Because I'm pretty sure everybody could say this airline, this favorite airline, and stuff like that. Right. I know some people's favorite airline is Spirit.
I don't have that Spirit.
I mean, but Spirit hasn't been in none of these. The Spirit ain't, knock on wood, I ain't seen no crashes.
You know what it is with Spirit Airlines? I have taken it a couple of times, but what stopped me from booking with Spirit is really all of those horrible videos that you see.
Those fees.
The fees, yes, but also those horrible videos that you see people posting about everybody fighting on Spirit. And it's like, I've never seen so many highlight reels with people just going crazy.
It's a mess.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's Spirit's problem. It's just that that's the videos that I see. So I tend to stick with, when I was going to Los Angeles a lot, I was flying American because that was really the route. But now I've switched over to Delta.
Delta isn't too bad. I like their cookies. Good job on the cookies, Delta.
Right?
Y'all cookies, you rock it.
Yeah, the cookies are good. But you know what I've also found? I've also really just enjoyed a lot of the flight attendants. They've been really friendly. They've been really kind. And I'm not saying that they haven't been on American, but what I've noticed with Delta seems to have retained a few more of the perks that I become.
I got firsthand experience with Delta flight attendants and stuff, and they are top of the line. You know what I mean? I give them that. Y'all do work above and beyond, and I like the fact that Delta offers, free snacks in between certain planes and free meals and stuff. Everybody else, it's a fee. You know what I mean? Help me, help we. You feel me? Like, so I'm not helping nobody or yourself, just charging all these extra fees. So this podcast is actually for the airlines and employees and stuff as well too. Y'all see how we going full circle. So, sit back. We don't have no timeline. We got a long list to go, and we got a lot of episodes to go. So. Yes, we do.
I'm so excited. And we also want to hear from you. We would like to know what about travel is either interesting to you, annoying to you, or really exciting to you. Right? Yeah.
I like road trips.
I like road trips.
I like the scenery. I love to travel because it's a whole world out there, really. And I know a lot of people that have never left their hometown or home state. And it's a whole world out here. Once you start going out there and experiencing it, building different experiences, different cultures, different people and stuff like that, it's going to brighten up your horizon to the world and stuff like that. And I love the scenery. One day I'm over here in the Garden State, everything green. Then I'm over in Cali. I'm looking at mountains in Vegas and stuff like that. It's not every day that you see mountains where I'm from and stuff. It's not every day that people, like Jersey is one of the most unique states for me. And then one of my favorite places, it's definitely my favorite place, Jersey. And I can hit 4 states in a matter of 4-6 hours easy and have fun in all those states easy. And, it's not too many places in the world where you could actually live like that and stuff.
You just made such a great point. And, we talk about different ways of travel. I traveled on the Metro North yesterday, and I went from New York to Westport, Connecticut.
Okay.
And I was able to work in Westport, Connecticut. I had an appointment in the morning. Then I had a lunch meeting. Then I had a dinner meeting. Then I was on a train and back in New York by 8 in the evening. And you're right. You can get to so many different places just by taking just a little bit of a detour and travel.
Yeah, I heard it from her. I ain't got that experience right there. So, we blended the experiences right there. I'm living through her on some things as well. That's cool. You ever been on a cruise?
Oh, okay. So yes, in way back when I was doing a modeling job, and I got this job to do all of the brochures for Princess Cruise Lines for their princess. It's called the Grand Princess, and it was going to be the biggest cruise ship since the Titanic. And so we get on this boat, and we have to fly to Monfalcone, Italy.
Yeah.
So we get on this boat, and we get there, and there's all these Italian shipyard workers on there. The boat is a little bit behind schedule, being ready to go. And they can't figure out, they say everything just keeps getting stolen from this boat. And it turns out that it was under Vatican, the Vatican rule area of Italy, from what we were told. And that the Vatican did not recognize theft. So they wouldn't recognize any of the theft that was going on this cruise ship. So what they did is they delayed the maiden voyage, and they decided that they were going to put the crew, us models, the photography crew, and 600 Italian shipyard workers on this boat. And so here we go. We go out to do the water testing. This is the first time that this boat has ever been taken off of dry dock. Here we are getting into the sea with it, right? And we have to travel from Monfalcone, Italy to Istanbul, Turkey, with 600 Italian shipyard workers on the boat who decided that at 1 o'clock every morning that they would try to put their key in your door to say, air conditioner, air conditioner. And so it was the craziest cruise because we didn't get any of the amenities. There was nothing. We didn't get to be on the top of the boat. We only, we took photos and all of that. But at night, we got to go to the deep underbelly of this huge cruise ship to hang out and party with like all of the crew.
Man, that ship was haunted.
Everything. But the only way that this cruise ship would have ever been done is by taking all these shipyard workers out to sea so they couldn't abscond with all the TVs and everything off of the ship. So that was my one cruise experience. And then I had one more cruise experience. Okay. And I was living in Los Angeles, and a friend of mine was like, hey, we should go down to Mexico on one of those 3 or 4 day booze cruises out of Long Beach. Yeah. So we get on the boat, and this is why this was my first public version of being on a cruise ship and also my last. What they neglected to tell me was that this was a NASCAR convention. So I am on a ship with 4,000 NASCAR people, and everything is about cars, this and that, and
I was about to ask you, are you even into NASCAR?
Well, that's just it. No, the one thing that I was grateful for is that I wasn't near one of the pits where you could smell all the gas and the exhaust.
Yeah, the pit crew. Yeah,
right. But this was an experience. I don't think I've ever had another experience like this, but I have not been on a cruise ship since. What about you? Are you a cruise ship guy?
I've never been on a cruise.
Ah.
I know, found something I never done. I heard some crazy stories about a cruise. I heard it goes down on a cruise, like, I mean, so, but one thing I want to do safety-wise on the cruise is make sure everybody understands hurricane season.
Oh, right. Yeah.
October all the way to like November. No, not October. August. All the way to like November. August to November. Cut it up, cut it loose. Don't do it. And that includes going on vacation to like Jamaica and stuff too. I know we all love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. But hurricane season is real, guys. And I need you guys to understand that is too. While you booking these dates and stuff, keep in mind. Right.
Well, and the only islands that you really can go to during hurricane season are the ABC Islands because they are not in the hurricane path. So you've got Aruba, Curacao, and is it the Bahamas, right?
I don't know, but that's different. Yeah. You said the ABC Islands?
They're called the ABC Islands. It's Aruba, Curacao, and I think it's Bahamas.
Yes.
Yeah, but those are the 3 islands that are not in Hurricane Alley. So if you are going to book a trip during that time to an island, choose one of those. You're in a safer spot.
We learn something new every day, guys. I didn't know about the ABC Island. I knew about the islands, but I didn't know they had a coordinates to go with them and stuff like that. But definitely something to be aware of. Village. So,
Yeah.
how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that this is something that by the time we hit baggage claim, we decided we were going to do.
By the time we got the baggage claim, strangers on the plane, classy talk was already in the works. So this also serves as a good example that it's never such thing as the right time to do it. Just do it. Follow your gut.
Yeah.
And stay kind.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is I wanted to touch on, we talked about this a little bit when we sat down, and, judging a book by its cover, right?
That's a life lesson right there alone. But we're going to break it down to you travel-wise. Go ahead and break it down for them.
So Jerzey and I are sitting next to each other on a plane, and I think this is the first time that it came up. Jerzey looked down, and he saw my shoes. And I was wearing high top wedge Nike Dunks because I like to wear wedge high heels because I'm 5'2" 3/4. That 3/4 is so important. I'm 5'2" 3/4, and so I like to give myself a little lift, and I like to be comfortable because I walk a lot. And Jerzey looks down at my shoes and says,
you got on the Dunks and stuff like that. Check you out and stuff. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, you fly. I see you.
Well, you also said to me, I didn't expect that from you.
I did expect it, guys.
And why?
She came off classy talk and all that. She came out with some Dunks on and stuff. I'm like, oh, my bad. You feel me? I ain't know whether to, talk slang, keep the classy. I was confused, but I judged the book by the cover.
Well, and that's also very important to say, right?
Does she look like the type of woman to be wearing Dunks and stuff like that? She like pressy and stuff like that. She gonna have like at least like 4 inches. I don't know about 6. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
But it is true, and it's that somebody can be more than one thing. Somebody can be so many different things, and so to write somebody off just based on their appearance and what you see and what you think and what you can identify that with from everybody else that you've ever met,
yes.
I think it does yourself and other people a disservice. I know that I've done it myself. I know that it happens to me, and I'm sure that it happens to you.
I'm about to say, it just happened to me as well, because I don't look like a firefighter, music executive, and radio host, and all this other stuff, and I start running it down, my resume, my background and stuff. It's like, oh, snap, I get judged by my cover all the time and stuff like that. So that's why it's important to keep the travel codes in mind. Stay flexible. Stay open and stay kind, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know who you're sitting next to.
You never know what their day is like.
The way you network determines your net worth. And here we are.
That's actually really, really good. And how you treat people. Super, super important. You never know about their day. You never know what happened. We talk a lot in this world, and I mentioned earlier about air traffic controllers and mental health, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a mental health awareness month right now. And
happy month, everybody.
Yeah. Just, remember to be kind to yourself. First of all, we are kind to other people, but I think who we forget to be most kind to is ourselves sometimes.
Yes.
We're our own worst critics.
Wrapped up in ourselves, and life is life in everybody and stuff. We all just remember to adapt and adjust and stuff like that. The travel codes could go for life as well. It's not just traveling and stuff like that.
Right. It's not just when you're traveling. it is in life. Somebody asked me one day, so I get teased all the time. I'm that person that drives with my hands at 10 and 2, and I go the speed limit. I guess you could call me like a geeky, nerdy driver or whatever. I don't care. I'm going to get there safely, and I want everybody else to as well. But you think about it, and you see people, and they're rushing, and they get upset, and they get angry, and they'll honk at people and things like that. When I get into a car and I drive, I take my time. I'm happy to let you go. I slow it down, take my foot off the gas if somebody else is speeding by me. But one of the reasons that I'm able to do that is because I plan ahead, and I leave early enough. I take that time because I know that if I'm showing up with my best self, then I'm less likely to cause somebody else to be angry with me, to snap at somebody else, because I want to show up kind of in preparation for anything that could happen. Like, I want to give myself that time. So maybe be kind to yourself in that way by preparing, and then you won't go through the pain of the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that you said be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, who's going to be kind to you?
Well, and also, who can you be kind to? You'll be kind to less people if you don't even treat
That's
yourself
true.
well.
And being kind to yourself puts you in a better mood to stay flexible, stay open.
And stay kind.
Come on, y'all see how it's going, right? It might sound, but y'all see the full circle about how these things are strategically put together, not just to sound cool and stuff, but to actually give out knowledge and wealth. Knowledge is wealth and stuff like that. So, glad you guys are listening to the tune, man. We got something real special brewing up right here, and we're excited to share it with you, man. So here we are.
And once again, I really, and I know that you do too, we want to hear from other people.
Yes.
We want to know what your travel experiences are. We want to know the things that you struggle with when you travel, because we would love to talk about them. If you're struggling with something, who knows? Maybe because we travel so often, we can give you some tips on it and some advice, something to make things move a little more smoothly in moments. Oh, and by the way, if anybody ever offers you a travel voucher, sign up for it. They are so worth it. The airlines, they overbook all the time.
Yes.
And so if you ever see the offer to sign up for a free travel voucher, it is the best. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to talk to JetBlue right now. JetBlue, I remember about 10 years ago, you used to do that all-inclusive pass. You would sell it for $750 a year. You would sell it in September, and you could actually travel for a few months for this flat rate. I want you to bring that back.
Oh.
Please, JetBlue.
Oh, hope y'all taking these gems right here, man. There's a lot of secret spots that we're going to be revealing as well. That's good for vacation, family getaways. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to take away from this right here, and we're glad to even be in this position to present it to you guys. Glad to even be able to experience these experiences that we have to share and all that. So.
It's true.
Definitely got a lot to go. We could go on for a while, but we're going to save some things for the next episode. Keep you guys in tune. Definitely, man, to hit over what we talked about. One, EWR, get it together before next week. Please. Air traffic controllers, stay in there. We need you. Stay in there.
Yeah.
Open up the hiring, open up some training and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Let's get back to... the safety protocols that, the air is used to.
Mental wellness and health.
Yes.
Super important.
Yes, big time. Because I am not driving in LaGuardia. Philly is not better than EWR in my thing. Yeah, I might be a little biased, but I'm not, because I've seen a lot and done a lot. But Philly is okay. I do like EWR, and it's disheartening to see and hear that EWR is going through such a tragedy right now. So
it's also really hard to hear that we're not as safe as we think we are in the air. And that's coming from the air traffic controllers who are actually watching the safety of our skies.
Yes. Another hit that we was, and stop sugarcoating it. Disabled, this is disabled. No different able. Not doing that.
From the mouth of the man himself.
I never heard of different able. We're not doing that. We're going to call a spade with that one, man. And then all the airline employees, use your benefits wisely. Yeah. Don't be scared to use your benefits. And for all you people that don't like to call off and take vacations, stop vacation and call out shaming people. Let these people live their life. That's what we got PTO. Yeah, if you call off or you take off, people like to, leave shame. Like, oh, he always leaving. It's my time.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so from what I'm hearing here is because you have figured out a really special way to be able to live your life and have all of this PTO that you might be being PTO shamed right about now.
See? PTO
is not...
Paid time off, baby. Yeah. That sounds like a plan to me. Everybody love PTO.
I'd love some PTO.
I love PTO. PTO me all day. But all the employees, use your benefits wisely. If you want to go rescue animals on your time off and stuff.
Hey, that's great. Maybe even figure
That's not everybody's, case, but we salute you. We encourage you. Use that time off because I promise you those CEOs are sitting on those islands that we wish we was at using their time on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is SOAP_classy talk with Jerzey Julz and Carolyn Neff.
Till next time, guys. And make sure you download the Real Talk Show Network application, available on all platforms, and catch us on YouTube as well. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Okay, so that's one. So what do you want to do?
Check you out.
What?
You did that. You did great. You was a natural.
That's my first podcast.